Hello everyone and welcome to another one of RC Street Shop's product reviews. So today we have a brand new product in the store. This is the new Rustler 4x4 VXL. This is the Rust has been around since the beginning of time. It really is a staple in the RC world. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find someone who either A, doesn't know what a Rustler is, or B, hasn't had a Rustler. I mean, I have a Rustler. Most of the guys who've worked here have had Rustlers. It's a very, very versatile, very common car, and it's inexpensive. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff about it, and there's a lot of bad stuff about it. But either way, it's a model that Traxxas has had around for a while and is going to keep going around for a while. So now they have a 4x4. So let's jump into it. So we start with what comes in the box. Now, this is a VXL model, so like most VXL Traxxas models, it does not include a battery, it does not include a charger. You get the car, you get the Bluetooth radio, you get some tools, instruction manual, all the Traxxas paraphernalia and stickers they give you, and that is about it. You're going to need a battery and a charger to complete this. Now, this car, I was really curious about it when they announced it because a 4x4 Rust is something people have been asking us about for a long time, but we didn't really take the request that seriously because we never really thought Traxxas would do it. So when they came out with it, I was curious about what they actually did. Now, what this car essentially is think of it as a 4x4 Stampede with a low center of gravity chassis. This car is to the Slash Platinum or Slash Ultimate what the Stampede 4x4 is to the regular 4x4 Slash. What they've done is they've done like a rally style low center of gravity chassis, made it really short, and you have this car here. So everything outside of the chassis is 4x4 Slash. And that's not a bad thing. The 4x4 Slash is a great car. I think it's probably one of the most versatile cars on the market because there's not a whole lot you cannot do with the 4x4 Slash. You can make ridiculous power, jumping off your neighbor's roof. I mean, there isn't much a 4x4 Slash cannot take. And that's going to show at these new Rustlers when guys start to modify them. There isn't much that's not existing in the Traxxas inventory that's on this car. I opened up the instruction manual that came with this car and I was studying the exploded views. And this car, any of the Rustler 4x4 specific parts are going to be 67 prefix numbers. So they're going to be 67XX. Suspension arms, shocks, ring gear, all the stuff in this car, it's all 4x4 Slash numbers. So if you've had a 4x4 Slash, you're going to be familiar with it. In the Traxxas literature, they talk about heavy-duty axles. They talk about Revo gears, stuff like that. That's all stuff that they said about the Slash. So it's not like it has new Revo stuff. It's got stuff from the old Revo, which is what was in the new Slash, or in the Slash 4x4, I should say. So what's nice about that is parts are going to be readily available. And in a moment, I'll go over the parts that are actually different. There's not a lot, but there are some specific parts to this car. So this is going to come in two colors. It's going to come in a green and then the red and orange that you see here. Red, orange, blue, I guess is what it is. This car has new tires. They're like miniature 2.8 versions of the Revo 2.0 tires. Same thing with the rims. They're that black chrome Traxxas likes to use. And they're kind of a miniature version, or a 2.8 version of the Revo 2.0. A lot of the customers that have come in and seen this car have been like, oh, it's a baby Revo. Well, it really isn't have anything in common at all with the Revo, except for the clipless body mount setup. The unique parts to this, so the chassis and everything in between the bulkheads is brand new on this car. The chassis is a shortened version of the Little CG Slash chassis. It's got a brand new radio box, because the radio box, when they mounted it, they put it a bit far forward, which I'm assuming is for more room for bigger motors. So the radio box goes over the drive shaft. The drive shaft is a unique piece because this car is a shorter length. So really quick, the wheelbase on this car is about 10 millimeters longer than a regular Rustler. So it doesn't share the wheelbase with the Rustler because, like I said, it's essentially just a short slash. The bumpers are new. The wheelie bar setup is new. Most of that stuff is more stylistic. The body is totally different. It's a clipless setup. Oh, this car also has new shock towers. Now, the reason that the shock towers are different is to work with the clipless body. So you cannot put, so on the Revos, the new 2.0 Revos, you can backdate that truck to the new, or the old body mount setup and ditch the clipless body if you want to, just by changing the mounts. This car actually has shock towers that were specifically designed for the clipless setup. We haven't torn the car apart or anything like that yet because this car is going to belong to somebody. But I'm pretty sure you could just take the Slash 4x4 shock towers, put them on this car, and it would fit just fine. Now, issue you're going to run into is what bodies you're going to fit it. Got no idea yet because it's kind of a unique size. It's another interesting thing is in the exploded manual, the part numbers Traxxas show for the differential gears, for the spider gears inside the diff, are the heavy duty ones that were on the Revo, on the e-Revo brushless, I should say, the ones that have the stiffening bar inside of them. The exploded view doesn't show that. So until we pull one apart, I don't know what's in it. I'm hoping that they put the X part number of the differential gears, because that is the upgrade for the Slashes. Anyone that runs a big power in a Slash and has problem blowing up gears runs the X part number for the differential gears, which has the little strengthening bar that goes inside of there and keeps the gears from blowing up. So we'll see. We did have some time to drive this car today. We raced it around inside the parking lot. We don't have a lot of room here. We're in a strip mall, so you know it's not like we can take it out on the street and zip it as fast as it'll go. The car comes with, I believe, an 11-tooth pinion and a 54-tooth spur. And it's quick. It's okay. It's a little disappointing on 3S. I would expect it to be faster. But, you know, that's stuff that's all changeable. It comes with a different pinion gear in the box, so you can go faster. But racing around in the parking lot on the 11-tooth gear, the motor got a little hotter than I expected it to. It didn't overheat. Didn't come close to overheating. But our temp gun's broken right now, and I haven't had a chance to temp it. But by touching it and feeling it, it was probably getting around 140, 150. But we were driving it pretty aggressively in the parking lot. But on an 11-tooth pinion, I think it should stay cooler. But in practice, we've learned that the Velineon motors tend to run hot anyway. So this thing, I would definitely buy a fan with it if you're going to get one. Definitely a fan for the ESC, definitely a fan for the motor. That's going to really help with motor life and ESC life. You know, put a fan on there and extend the life of the electronics, or ditch them and put a castle system in it, which is what I want to do. But suspension on this car, suspension is straight four-wheel drive Slash. One interesting thing to note, though, is that the part number for the arms, Traxxas says in their literature that the arms on this are a new composite plastic that they're using. These arms share a part number with the four-wheel drive Slash, but it's instead of being an X prefix, it's an R. So I have a feeling that these arms are a little bit closer to what you'd find something RPM building, because we were messing with it. The arms have a lot more give in them than the regular Traxxas arms do. That's for durability. So I think Traxxas is kind of taking a spot out of the RPM playbook and running a special composite arm, and they're trying them out on this truck. And it wouldn't surprise me that if in the near future the R prefix superseded the X in the standard number, and it was the arm they used on all the 4x4s. So the arm is identical in dimension, everything to the regular 4x4 arm. The only difference is it's a different material, and you can feel it. Like I said, if you get a Rustler 4x4 and twist the arm, it's got a lot more give in it than the standard arm, and that's good. That's going to help the car when you hit stuff. Other than that, the rear uprights, C-hub, steering knuckles are straight run-of-the-mill 4x4 Slash stuff. Wheelie bar is kind of cheesy. That's a lot of flex there. I'm sure the aftermarket will fix that. Shocks, they're regular Ultra shocks. Not that great either. But like I said, what's really cool about this car is that there's a ton of aftermarket for this thing out there, and it hasn't even come out yet because it just uses run-of-the-mill Slash stuff. So, you know, GTR shocks, Proline shocks, RPM suspension, aluminum upgrades, all that stuff's going to be out there for this car. The stuff that's different on this car is stuff you wouldn't change. Chassis, battery mount, radio box, stuff like that. Even the motor mount setup, which is a problem on the 4x4s, is a standard LCG plastic mount. So another mod I would do to this car before I even ran it would be change the motor mount setup to the aluminum setup from Hot Racing into G or Traxxas. That way you can save the rear bearing and you're not going to have a bunch of issues. What would be neat is to run one of these with the center differential that comes in the Slash. That would be cool. I'm pretty sure I don't see why that wouldn't fit in here. So, like I said, you know, this is another really cool adaptation of existing Traxxas parts, and it's going to make a really cool car. And I'm excited to see what happens with these things in the future. The only real gripes I have with this is I personally don't like the clipless body mounts on the small cars. It's really hard to get on. It takes some practice, and it's just my personal opinion. I'm sure a lot of you out there like the clipless setup. It's not so bad on the X-Max because the truck's so big, but on the 2.0 Revo, on this car here, I'm not a big fan. Something to note too when you buy this car, the 5,000 milliamp batteries don't fit. When we ran it today, we had to pop a 4,000 out of another car and put it in there. And the 4,000 3-cells fit just fine, but it is a bummer that with the short chassis you can't run the 5,000s, at least the 25C 5,000s. With aftermarket batteries, I'm pretty sure some of the Venoms and Protex and other brands will fit in there with a 5,000, but even with the 4,000 Traxxas battery in there, it's a tight fit. And this mount setup, from the way it looks, isn't reversible like it is on the 4Tech and some of the other cars. So, but, you know, that's what Velcro and battery straps are for. So, you know, any of the issues you're going to run into with this car are easily fixable. In closing, it's a really cool car. I think it's really cool. I'm going to have to fight myself to buy one because I don't need another car, but it's cool. It's a really cool car, and I think it's going to be, a lot of you guys are going to really, really like it. I know a lot of you are probably pining to buy this thing. I know I'm pretty excited about it, but where can you buy it? At RC Street Shop, 5521 East Spring Street, Long Beach, California. Come on by, see the car. We got one out on display. If you're not lucky enough to be in beautiful Long Beach, you can give us a call, ask us questions about it. 562-425-9000. If you're not that happy with using the phone, rcstreetshop.com is our website. You can also find us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those things. Check us out. Follow us on YouTube because you're watching us on YouTube. So please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.